Good morning, taxpayers. This is Vladislav Grant, tax attorney here in the state of Florida, and today we have a new development in the tax realm. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of developments because the one big beautiful bill that is being passed by the Senate and the House this week is bringing a lot of changes. Especially, I would like to highlight one change that seemed particularly concerning to me is because a lot of my clients are business owners, and I would like to announce it to a lot of other tax professionals out there that the one big beautiful bill is bringing quite an interesting limitation on employment retention credit. Let's take a look at what the actual text of the bill says. So we have on page 576 on the version of the bill that was passed on July 2nd, and today it's being passed and voted on technically on the House floor. We have a limitation on the credits. And what basically they are saying is that no credit is allowed or refund should be made in respect to any claim for the credit unless the claim for such credit or refund was filed by the taxpayer on or before January 31st, 2024. So essentially, the 2024 January deadline is a new date that was proposed by this bill, which goes contrary to what the prior deadlines were for the ERC credit. The ERC credit for the quarters ending in 2020 were essentially limited to the deadline in April 15, 2024, which essentially puts some boundaries on even 2020 claims. But essentially, if you filed your claim and request for refunds after January 31st, 2024, even though it was a proper claim at the time of when you made that particular request, essentially now it can go retroactively back and the IRS can request this money back from you. Moreover, if you have not filed your ERC claim before this deadline and filed it after, you're pretty much guaranteed to not receive this particular credit if this bill is passed. Now, the bigger problem with it is that a lot of people relied on this particular credit, and now there is a limitation which, when this bill is passed, will apply retroactively. So this has been proven by the many cases before that the Congress has the authority to retroactively bring these particular statutes that will be amended and virtually will change the application of the credit based on a new deadline. So I just wanted to let a lot of business owners know who are expecting their credit, check your deadline and check the times when you have filed the return, and ask your accountants and whoever filed your ERC claims whether or not they did it on time, because if this particular return was filed late after January 31st, 2024, you're looking at not receiving any money whatsoever. If you have been recently rejected by the IRS for the claim of your ERC refund, you can actually still dispute it under the current law with the federal court, which puts some time frame barriers on them to respond and actually comply with the current law before this particular law gets enacted. Granted, that once this bill is passed, the IRS is going to have every possible reason to reject this claim and win, even if you file litigation. But generally speaking, if you were rejected or you haven't heard from the IRS for the past 6 months, you can file a lawsuit and at least get some traction on the IRS's side in order to respond to your IRS claim. If you are interested in assistance of filing the lawsuit against the IRS, if you have not filed your if you have received a rejection or you have filed and haven't heard from the IRS for the past 6 months, then please give me a call at 561-858-1288, and we will try to help you. We'll try to settle this with the IRS, and we will file the lawsuit against the IRS and potentially get you some of the ERC funds back before this particular bill becomes new law. As always, I hope you have a really nice day. Just wanted to give you this heads up if you're a business owner. My name is Vladislav Grant. I'm a tax attorney here in the state of Florida, servicing any tax-related matters nationwide. Call me at any time. My name is Vladislav Grant. Phone number 561-858-1288. Have a good day.